Hello, it's me, Camilla. I actually wanted to create it started off as a video-ish. I just love saying ish. And it turned into type of a spoken word slash poem, but yet I am not a poet. But it seems that it was easier for me to just create spoken word format and just express, I guess, my different obstacles with finding my identity or the process of finding that identity. So I hope you enjoy. I had fun doing it. It was kind of a therapy for me. So just let me know what you think. Thanks. My journey as a Black woman with bilateral microtia has not been easy at all, but I'm so grateful for my life experience, my lived experience, and I look forward to the next phases of my many chapters. I'm at a good place in my life in regards to my identity. Um, with this class, I struggled with fitting in. I was able to fit into my Black culture, my womanhood. I can even connect with bilateral microtia. But the piece where I kind of jumped in and jumped out was my deaf culture and also the hearing loss culture. And it's I think with the hearing loss side of things, it's great, but yet I feel like it's more PC. It's all about like being politically correct. And yes, I do have a hearing loss, but yet I was born deaf. So to me, that makes me deaf, you know, and I'm okay with that. My deafness. There was a point in my life where I was not able to say that and be proud of who I am as a deaf woman, but yet this ableist society tells me that no, you are hearing impaired. But yet I don't feel impaired, so why should I label myself as such? Deafness. Deafness represents my life. Waking up and going to sleep, I hear silence. I go to bed with silence, and I am okay with that. Deafness is a way of just being able to observe the world just through seeing and smelling and tasting and feeling. But yet, I do have that extra sense of hearing through a technology device. Deafness is the first thing that maybe professionals saw when I was born, but that was the first uniqueness of my life the day I was born. I am Black and I am proud. There's no doubt about that. I was raised that way. I look that way. I am raised that way. Everything's Black. Black the better. Black is nice. But yet I wasn't this proud for a disability that I didn't want to claim. I passed. I said, nope, I'm not involved in that. Nope, I don't do sign language. Nope, I don't know anyone who's deaf. I was denying myself. Microtia and atresia. My two little ears I've grown to love, but there once was a time where I couldn't look at my ears in the mirror. I was faced with pity, shame, regret, doubt because of two small ears. And it was because of this ableist society telling me I'm not good enough just based on my appearance alone. And if I wasn't able to speak clearly and take speech therapy classes and make sure that I say my letters and my E's and S's correctly, but yet in the process, I was losing my identity. I was losing connection through my deaf culture. Better yet, I didn't even know it existed. But yet I was an ableist. I was able to hear. I was able to understand and dismiss using my hands in a form called sign language. Way before the song came out, I used to often say, I was born this way. Kids used to come to me and point and stare and ask the question that I dreaded each and every day. Why are your ears that way? Why do you look like that? And as a child, I had to constantly remind myself of this disability and constantly remember my answer and constantly have to deal with the annoying answers and annoying responses. I was born this way. That's all I have to say. I know nothing more, nothing less. I choose not to learn more about my culture. I choose not to understand about my diagnosis. I just want to be a kid. I just want to be a student. I just want to live. We are in a middle of a movement called Black Lives Matters movement. It's the most exhausting, painful, sad, but yet encouraging and motivating time of our lives. I look forward to the upcoming changes that's going to happen, and I look forward to waking up from this nightmare of Blacks not having equal rights compared to others and not being treated with respect from police officers. So I look forward to that time in our lives. And also, I have to say that it is very challenging to see the Black Disabled Lives movement not getting the recognition that it needs and deserves. Yes, I have seen people with disabilities out protesting, making comments on social media, but yet I've never really seen or heard politicians or protesters or anyone invite people with disabilities to the meetings, the protests, the organizations. Typically, they're kind of like in their own corner instead of being included, and that challenges me. I feel that society, let me rephrase that, the ableist society feels that people with disabilities have their own obstacles, their own challenges, that they may not have the time or even capable to worry about things such as Black Lives Matters. But yet, people need to realize Black people are Black people, no matter if they're able-bodied or not able-bodied. I believe this is the reason why there are a lot of Black boys and Black girls who dismiss their disability because they feel that society won't accept them. You know, you got deaf people out here who can't even get an interpreter during some press conferences that should be available to all. Ableist people feel that captioning is good enough for deaf individuals, which is not true. We have all these assumptions and these biases and all this stuff that prevents people from being who they really are and request the accommodations that they need and deserve. You know, before this class, I didn't realize I had the terminology of passing and dismissing my disability. I didn't realize I was even doing that. I just, at the time, I felt I was covering up my deafness as a way to migrate and a way to grow in the society regarding my career, motherhood, and as a student. Because it was my opinion or my assumption that being deaf was belittled. Being deaf was being viewed by society as, I hate to say it, dumb. They say that it's not offensive. They say not to use it, but in reality, there's Black folks in our community that still uses it. They still associate crazy or stupid as retarded, or they refer to jokes about the little school bus as a joke. But yet, I wrote the little school bus, and I don't think it's a joke. Children with disabilities have a voice. They are their own advocate. They are the ones living with their own experiences. So I have challenges with some adults dictating everything a person with disability do with their own lives. Even with those individuals with disabilities who are capable of communicating and articulating exactly what they want and what they need. But yet guardians and parents and grandparents still want to take over in a way. And I always just question if maybe that's just a parent just being an overprotective parent, or do they have their own biases, their own assumptions for people with disabilities? I don't know. This class has opened my mind to understanding and not understanding how people without disabilities interact with those with disabilities. It seems that there's a lot of assumptions being thrown out there, but yet no one is really truly hearing some people with disabilities. They just assume what they want, what they need based on ableist policies and views and assumptions and rules, and the list can go on and on. I struggle with the person first language that I once was trained over and over and over again as a developmental disabilities professional, but yet I read that some people are okay with just their labeled, their identity, their disability. Some are okay with being called disabled person versus person with disabilities. Call them what they want, not assume what they need. I want to thank you, Missy, for this class, and I also want to thank my classmates for understanding and listening to their perspectives regarding people with disabilities or disabled people, and also just learning a lot about my own experiences and my own identity and allowing myself to get to where I am today. I knew I would get to this place in my life, but this class really opened my eyes and really allowed me to think from different perspective as a Black woman, as a person with a rare condition called Microtia and Atresia, and accepting that and being okay with that. I'm really no longer concerned about ableist views anymore. It's really about like, okay, I live in this ableist society, but yet I'm gonna still be Camilla. So with that, thank you.